Alright lads, welcome back to the Inside Minecraft podcast. Everything you need to know inside Minecraft. We are back again for hopefully the third week running. I've already scheduled the Shalom podcast, so that's perfect. And I'm assuming this is going to go out the week after. So that's 3 weeks in a row now, lads. That's quite great. But today we are joined with the first, well, I'd say first, now that I'm in this kind of community, the first Java content creator. We're going to have a lot more of these on, so that's going to be great. And I am joined with HammSamichz.
Hello.
Have I said that right? HammSamichz? How do you say it?
No, it's close enough. It's a common. All right, it's like a common thing. Everyone says it a bit differently. Like How was
it intended to be said then by you?
Oh God, I don't even know. I've never actually thought about that too hard.
So how are you?
I guess basically the same, but yeah. Basically. I am doing quite well. Work, but got home, played some parkour, ready for the podcast.
7 p.m. for you right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's 10 a.m. for me. This is the I always record my podcast at like 9 p.m. This is the earliest I've ever done it. I woke up, so I wasn't at home today. I stayed at my girlfriend's house. So I woke up at like 7 a.m. and instantly left the house just to get home so I could prep for the podcast and do it, because I haven't been home for like the weekend. So I've woken up a bit, which is good. But what about you? So you said you was work today. How's work? If you have school, whatever, how's that?
Boring, as always. That's all right there. You're not an often morning person, are you?
It depends. Well, my old job, which I might be going back to, I'm not sure yet. They're kind of saying yes and no at the moment. I used to wake up at 6 a.m. and work until 4 p.m. But the job that I moved into, which I've left now, which is the reason the podcast stopped, I talked about this on a previous podcast, was at 12 p.m. So I've gotten into a bit of a habit of waking up at about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Nicer. Yeah,
but it also meant no content, so
that's true. I have a habit of waking up at like 8:40. When I start at 9, and it takes me half an hour to get there. It's not great.
But it's better, because if you're working mornings, at least now you can come home. Now you said you can do the podcast, and I think you said you're gonna go eat dinner, and then you're gonna stream, correct? So yeah, it's kind of non-stop, apart from I got maybe 2-3 hours to myself, but yeah. And then obviously once you're done streaming, it's at about 1-2 a.m. in the morning.
Well, I mean, it's not really time to myself. I'm just sacrificing sleep if I'm doing anything there.
Which you stream almost daily now, don't you?
I try to. It's not like I specifically stream daily. It's just I have nothing else to be doing, so I just stream.
Well, we've got plenty of questions. Well, I say because sadly my co-host is no longer a co-host. I've got plenty of questions to ask you in regards to streaming and content in general. But yeah, as long as you're all good and you're ready for this podcast,
yeah, feeling good. I'm hyped. I'm keen to get into it.
One last thing as well, for anyone who thinks that Ham might be being awkward here, they'll ease up. Like Shalom last week, this is your first ever podcast, correct?
It is my first time. You are popping my proverbial podcast cherry,
I'm happy. At least I can turn around when you're big and famous and be like, yeah, when that dude was averaging 20-30 viewers, they're on my podcast, so now they're averaging 3k. Look at that, eh? All right,
we can dream.
We can dream. So, moving into the actual podcast now. I've got a few questions for you, Ham. Some depends on who I'm talking to and depends on what we're talking about. Because I'm talking about you and your content creation career and all that kind of jazz, I've kind of got it set up as in a past, present, future kind of sense, and then we'll split those into different sections. So you don't have to worry about that. I'll do that in the editing, of course. And then I have 2 Twitter questions for you. So
alrighty.
We're not just gonna be freeballing it and hoping that hoping that you have topics. I have all the topics set here for you, so you're all good. So we've discussed how your name might be pronounced as HammSamichz. You don't care. HammSamichz. You don't really care about how it's being pronounced. However, a question I love to ask people when they come on the podcast, especially if it's your first ever podcast, so everyone else can hear about it. Where does the name come from?
Oh, it's kind of funny. So I just bought Minecraft Java Edition, which I had to physically go in store to do because I didn't have a card. It wasn't I think it was end of 2020. I just finished year 12. I just basically just graduated and I was sitting at home. Uni hadn't started yet. Didn't have a job. Bored as fuck. I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'll buy Minecraft,
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had to physically go to the store and buy one of those vouchers with cash because I had some money, but I didn't have a card, right? And I wasn't going to ask my parents to buy me Minecraft because, like, you know,
Minecraft.
yeah. Anyway, so I was got home. I was scratching off, getting the code, putting it in as I was eating my lunch for that day, which happened to be a toasted ham sandwich. And I was like, yeah, that's good enough. Didn't really put much thought into it. I was like, yeah, that's good enough. And then the specifics of it, I was like, I changed it a bit. You know, it can't just be ham sandwich. That's a bit boring. You know, so I'm going to make it fancy. Put like a chiz, you know, like, you know, I don't know. Z because cool gamer name. And then the double M because reasons I won't say because it would be slightly doxing myself, but it is a pun on my name.
Oh, okay. So Sam isn't your real name then?
No. It would be funny. Like I thought it would actually be it would be hilarious. I only thought someone said this the other day. It would be funny if my name was actually like, I don't know, like Samuel Hammond or something like that. It would be it would be funny. It's not anything like that, but yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't. I mean, people know people know what.
Sorry, I was going to say that people know my first name is Matt, but yeah, it's pun on my one of my other names. I won't specify which though.
Oh, so people do know your first name then? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. That's yeah. I have another funny story about that though.
Yeah, go on. It's the podcast. Go on, talk away.
Yeah. It was okay. I mean, I guess if we're kind of starting at the start, it's the stream I had to do in order to get Twitch affiliate. It's related in a convoluted way. So I was down in Melbourne because I got and my sister had gotten me tickets to go see Hamilton, so I was down in Melbourne to see that. But then, so I'd been streaming for like a little bit, and I'd gotten a couple of raids from another, I don't know, small mid-sized streamer that I did I mod for them at that point, or was I just I don't know if I was just a regular. I mod for them now. I think I wasn't mod at the time. Anyway, I was like a regular viewer in their stream, and they'd raided me like twice, which kind of gave me like the average viewers, which was huge. I mean, huge shout out to them. That's where all my original viewers came from, which was really good. It's kind of like getting I don't know. I never had to really sit through that like 0-1 viewer stage because I just kind of like I had like a couple friends, so like viewers from another community I was in, so I kind of sat around that like 3, 4, 5 like early days, which was like huge because I feel like it's a lot easier to go from like, you know, 5 to 10 than it is from like, you know, 1 to 4, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
exactly.
Like just getting anyone there at all makes like a big difference. Anyway, so back to my story. I was down in Melbourne, and I actually realized I had, is it 25 hours, 15? I can't remember what the hours you need are. Don't remember that, but I had the hours. I had the average viewership. I was sitting at like a healthy, like, what was it? Maybe it was like a 3.9 or something, because you need 3.
Yeah.
And then, but I didn't have enough streams. You need 7 in the last month, and I'd only done 6 because I didn't like stream massively at that point. And I was like, oh god, but like, what if I go back and like people stop watching, and then I'm not going to keep the average viewers? I was like, so I whipped out my phone because I didn't have a computer down there, so I didn't have my actual PC. I couldn't do an actual stream. So I got on my phone quickly. I downloaded Minecraft Pocket Edition, and I did a 10-minute long stream of Minecraft Pocket Edition off my phone because I just had to do something. It has to be 10 minutes for it to count as a stream. So I was like, okay, 10 minutes, and I'll just end it and be like, thanks guys. And it was actually really funny because it ended up being like a very successful stream by my standards at that point. Like I had like in that 10 minutes, I had like 8 people show up.
That tends to happen at live streams anyways, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was because it was the most scuffed stream you could imagine, like no audio. But and I'm just I don't even know how to play Minecraft Pocket Edition. I hadn't touched that game in years, and even when I did, I would have been like 11 and not really doing that well. Anyway, but I didn't know much about streaming on my phone. Like I know some people, I think there are some people that do like stream off their phone, but like there is I'm assuming there's like apps for it for doing it better or whatever.
Better now it's like this, and compared to like a year ago, it's a lot better to stream off your phone now.
And more importantly, most people put like do not disturb on or something like that, you know, so you don't have notifications popping up.
You didn't.
No, it was actually really funny because during this scuffed stream, up comes the emailed receipt for that with like my full name and Apple ID.
Oh no! Oh no!
It was was quite funny, and it was like more people there than I usually. It was quite funny. I mean, basically everyone there I knew anyway. Like it was a blurry line between like viewer and friend at that point, regardless. So it didn't really matter. Like I knew everybody there. I was all friends with them, so it didn't make a difference. But it was just kind of funny. And I've probably done that a lot. I think like I don't think I've doxed where I live, but I have doxed at least my name and some other information like several times on stream by accident.
You need to start being more careful, especially like when you start like. You're averaging.
I mean, the other thing is.
Now.
The other thing is I just like, I don't know, like, obviously, like, I don't actively go around, like, promoting, talking about personal information or whatever, but, like, at the same time, I don't really care, you know? I don't know. I'm kind of ambivalent to it in a way. Not gonna...
That's fair enough. So, in regards to the whole streaming thing that you said you used to average like 3 viewers and stuff. So, when you went to the store to buy Minecraft, how comes you bought Java Edition and not Bedrock Edition?
I didn't even consider it as an option. Like, there was no thought process there. It was, I mean, I don't know. At least in like sort of how I viewed it, I thought I didn't even know you could play Bedrock on a PC. I mean, I had a laptop at the time. I didn't have an actual PC. I just assumed Bedrock was just like for Xbox or whatever. Didn't know that was actually like a thing you could even get on PC. So I didn't even think about it. But I mean, I guess if I had, I would still have gotten Java anyway, just because like I'd for legal reasons, this is a joke. I'd played Minecraft before without owning it. And that was Java, but I really hadn't played much of it. Like I played like some like modded some mod pack like way back ages ago, probably I don't know, like 2015 I'd say. But I never really played too much Minecraft. But like I watched a lot of Minecraft YouTube. I didn't really watch Twitch at that point. I don't think I'd ever stepped on Twitch, but I like watched like a lot of Minecraft YouTube. And like everything I'd ever seen was all Java. Like I might have maybe seen maybe a handful of videos by what was their name? Like IBX Toy Cat or someone like that might have been on Bedrock.
Yeah, they're Bedrock, right, yeah.
For the like 99.8% of everything I've seen would have been on Java, and it was just like kind of the only. I don't know. I was almost entirely unaware of Bedrock's existence. Like I was like, it kind of exists, but I like knew literally nothing about it. So it was just, I don't know. It wasn't even really a thought process. It was just the only option to me when I saw it. So
with that, then I guess you kind of got like, well, not lucky in a sense, but I guess with like choosing Java Edition. So you said so when you bought Java Edition, did you just play it or did you instantly start streaming it?
Oh no, God no, I didn't stream it.
So when did you buy? You bought Java Edition back in 2020, right?
Yeah, like end of 2020.
So
it was probably like November
streaming?
Or something. I did my first like actual stream. I did when would it have been? Maybe April 2022, I think. I think that would have been it.
How comes?
Oh, well, I didn't have a PC. I was on a like terrible laptop at the time, so even if I wanted to stream, like I was barely running I mostly played like Luna Client with like all the max optimizations on, all the settings turned down to the lowest possible, cranking Bed Wars at like 6 render distance. Like it was not a great laptop for Minecraft.
Yeah.
So it was just not really feasible to stream and be able to play the game, so I just never even bothered. But when I got a PC, it was actually one of the motivating factors to get a PC. Like I kind of wanted to. I was like, I might do that. Like it was another reason for me to get it. I also just wanted a PC just to actually have good frames and be able to like watch Twitch at the same time as playing Minecraft, like without just everything being terrible. But yeah, it was I think after I got my PC, it was probably only about a month or so, and I like started streaming a little bit. I did a couple like no mic streams because I literally didn't even have a microphone, so I couldn't. But yeah, then kind of just kept doing it at a certain point. I think probably about, I was doing it like, I did the odd stream, maybe I might do like a couple days in a row, miss a week, miss 2 weeks, like back in like April, May. And then that's, I think sort of about late May, June, I kind of started like actually doing it relatively consistently, maybe, like maybe 3-4 streams a week for like a couple of hours. I think by June or July, I was doing it basically every day. It was just like my routine. I just did it. So yeah.
So with that then, with like, because we're in 2023 now. We're in April 2023. So you've been streaming, give or take, for a year now. So it's just about
about a year.
So how has like your content journey been how has it been up until now? Because you have 1.9k followers on Twitch. You're averaging 35 viewers. You stream at like a really inconvenient time for the rest of the world, which obviously is no like it's not your fault because of course you're Australian. Which once again, I'll get a bit more into you being an Australian content creator later, so we won't touch too much on that. But obviously you stream you go live normally at like 12 o'clock my time to about 4 p.m. Once I go back to work, I won't be able to watch your streams on days that I'm not working, for instance. On days that I'm working, sorry. So like to have, so I have about 5.2k followers, I believe. And I average about, to be fair, I've been averaging about 20 viewers now. But then again, I've also moved into a whole new community and I've brought none of my old community with me. All of my viewers right now are new viewers from a month ago. The odd one here and there might be from Bedrock, which I do get. But how you've been streaming for a year and you're already averaging 30 viewers. Did you see any moment that changed? Did you get a big raid? Did you just be consistent? Did you just like how has it been? How exactly did you get that sparking growth? If you remember, of course.
Yeah, it was weird. I always felt I had a disproportionately high amount of viewers. I still kind of do to some extent. But I think early days, it was crazy. I just had like probably a couple of my early viewers, from a streamer called, what was his name? PMD Cat. He used to be a like Minecraft speedrunning streamer. I think he does more Pokemon stuff now. I still mod for him. I still watch him every day. Well, every day he's live. But yeah, he rated me probably about twice, which gave me like, say 30, 40 odd people, which is fucking mental. Like when you're, not streaming to anyone. And I had like sort of a lot of fellow viewers in that chat, and I feel like a lot of people just stuck around, and it was really big.
Which streamer was this? Sorry, my streamer. Sorry.
A PMD Cat.
I've never heard of them, so it's like that sounds really toxic. No, I just mean I don't know who they are.
No, it was, they're another Australian streamer as well. They do more Pokemon now though, so I don't know. Oh, okay. If you sort of come across them, but and it was I just had like a couple of early videos. I think I probably had about maybe 5 or 6 like really dedicated viewers that were there basically like all the time. And like most of them, like pretty much all of those people who were there like at the very start, like are still, at every stream. And I'm so thankful for just having that constant support. And just like over a long time, it's crazy. Hang on, I'm actually trying to pull it up right now. That the follow list. I think of like the first 10 people to follow me, like 5 of them are still like regular active viewers, like every stream, which is crazy. Yeah, that was right, bro. Probably more like 6 out of the 10 are fairly still like basically in every stream. So like sort of during all those early streams, people just stuck around. I just it was crazy. And it just kind of never went down really. I feel like I blew up massively when MCC Island came out because I was streaming that every day. And I was streaming a lot longer. I was staying up to like 2, 3 a.m. like most days, which is awful for my sleep schedule, terrible for my uni results. But it was great for the stream. It was great for the Twitch. I just started exploding in followers. Like I went from probably about 200 to like 500 in like 2 weeks or something. Maybe not quite that quick, but it was like shockingly fast at that point. And like some streams I would get like I think at some points then I would sometimes even get up to like 40 viewers. I think one of those streams, which was for me like on a really good stream I'd get 20 at that point, which was just it was crazy. It was like MCC Island was like just free viewers almost, and it was to some extent because not a lot of people were actually on the server. Like not that many streamers were actually on it, but there was a big interest in it. And especially at my time, a lot of all the big streamers weren't live. So it was kind of...
There was a viewership interest.
People just kind of... There was like a lot of new people came in, which I wasn't really used to. Like what was I kind of doing? I was kind of doing like a little variety of stuff, sort of in that around May, June time. I think I played was mostly playing like Bed Wars and some like other like Hypixel housing parkour and a couple of other sort of games, but nothing crazy, nothing like nothing really particularly different. But I just had very, very loyal viewers. So I didn't get like a lot of new people coming in, but I still had I had pretty good streams at the time. I would get 10, 15 people every stream, even though I only had 100 followers, which is that ratio is crazy.
Outrageous.
Yeah. I didn't have a lot of new people coming in, but it was just people that were there were very consistent. I don't know why. I mean, personally, I don't see the appeal. I mean, I do to some sense, being not gonna insult myself, but I don't know. I'm not even saying words at this point. But yeah.
So
I guess it's just you go on. I kind of lost my train of thought.
That's all good. Don't worry. Like I said, it's your first time on the podcast. And you're doing great, by the way, Ham. You are doing really, really well, and I'm sure everyone's still finding it interesting. So in regards to that, for example, so I guess I'm talking about me a little bit. So I can sort of relate. So with the whole, when you said about skipping the whole 3-4 average, obviously I got quite popular on YouTube, and I started streaming on Twitch at a time where I was doing decently well on YouTube. So I was quite successful in transferring my YouTube viewers over to Twitch viewers. And for a good period during COVID, I was averaging 50, 55 viewers. There was a server I played on, and I think you needed 60 average to get partner rank for Twitch streamer rank on it. Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't have any rank at the time because I didn't meet the requirements for YouTube rank, because my YouTube channel's always been in a bit of a thing. So I started with command block tutorials, and I moved to CubeProf content, and I moved to Hive content. Now I'm moving over to Java content. So my YouTube channel has also always been in a bit of a pit with viewer wise, sub wise. I was doing really well with streaming, and I've said this on stream. I didn't really appreciate the viewerships enough, because obviously I went from a whole all-time high of averaging 50 viewers. I played in one tournament and hosted 2 tournaments, and every single one I averaged over 100 viewers in.
Wow.
And I played in another tournament, but they were the 3 that I mentioned are the big ones, and both the tournaments were for charity. They were great, but I used to average so well. Then I moved over to Java edition. I kind of reset, because I was averaging about 7 or 8 viewers, and now I've kind of seen an instant spike, and I don't know where it's come from, but I think it's because while streaming Bedrock edition content on a server I played called the Hive, it was mainly American based. The viewerships were mainly Americans. That's why I used to stream at 7 p.m. my time. Now I stream just after you end, or just about when you're ending at 4 p.m, because it's more European based. My viewers are either 1 or 2 hours ahead of me rather than 5 hours behind me. So now I go live a lot earlier to kind of cater for my new viewership of European. So I don't know where I've seen a spark come from, but I've seen it as well ever since making Java content. It must just be Java content, I think, because Bedrock edition, it has good viewerships. There used to be a streamer called MJ who used to average 100 viewers. Potato Pie, I'm going to SwitchCon with him. He's a good friend of mine. He averages about 100 viewers. Another streamer called Turbo Piggy, he averages about 60, 70 viewers. I'm not meaning to promote them on this podcast. Sorry if it seems that way. I'm just kind of saying they're Bedrock creators and they average that.
I mean, it is your podcast. I mean, you can do what you want.
Yeah, but it's about you. It's about you. So we're gonna move it straight back to you anyways. I'm just saying, for instance, Bedrock edition content creators, they do average well, but compared to Java, there's 3 or 4 compared to hundreds, 200s of Java creators who average. So I think it might just be you got lucky. Well, not lucky, but choosing to stream Java edition, I think was a lot better as well, because maybe you'd be doing well if you did Bedrock. And I think to be fair, knowing you, and I've only known you for 2-3 weeks, but watching your streams and stuff like that, you wouldn't have stayed on Bedrock for long. You wouldn't, because Java's your calling. Java is what you play.
Oh yeah.
So, and I can tell that.
All right.
But I guess moving over to the present now then, because we're 30 minutes in, unedited right now, and I'm not in a rush. I could record it. I could do this for 2 hours, but I know you don't want to be here too long. But I do want to get a few more questions in. It's not about you being here too long, but you get what I mean. You have stuff to do, and you got to go stream, etc. And so let's talk about the present. So I have a few questions. I guess this is down to you now, because I want to ask all these questions, but it depends on how long it takes you to answer them. So
of course.
So the first thing, I have 4 ones here, and I'll kind of build on them. First thing is, you show your face online. So I've talked to this to a few other streamers who also show their faces online when they've been on the podcast. I personally don't. There's a vlog coming out which I'm in, and my face is completely cut out of it, because I just don't want to show my face. I've always said that if my face is out there, I don't give a shit, but I'm not showing it myself. So how comes you just feel like it adds more to the stream, or do you just not really care and you're like, screw it, I'll just do face cam? Have you always done face cam, or was that added after?
I have done face cam since I had a webcam. It's my first my first stream was no face, no mic. not out of not wanting to, but simply out of not having a microphone or a webcam.
Yeah.
So it was probably not long after probably only like a couple of weeks after I started. That was mainly just me being too lazy to actually go out and buy one. I got a webcam, just switched it on. I don't know. I never really had any. It's more so. I feel like most streamers I'd watched had their face cam on, so I figured I'll just copy what everyone else does and then do that. So yeah, I just kind of, it was not like too much thought process behind it. Like I don't mind. Like I wouldn't really care either way if my face was covered or not covered. It was just kind of what everyone else did, so I just did that as well.
Oh, so you got that kind of confidence where you don't really give a shit if people know what you look like. I mean, clearly you do face cam, so
yeah. I mean, it's less confidence, more apathy. Like I'm not gonna like I just don't care. I just couldn't care less. Because I figure if you're like I'm not gonna be insulted by I'm not going to be hurt by anyone like insulting my looks or whatever. So I mean that's not an aspect to me. And also if it's in terms of like security, I kind of figured, oh well, I'm just going to do this for a little bit of fun, and you know, it might be cool if I average like, you know, if I get like maybe like 3 people watching me, that'd be pretty cool. So there's no reason not to show my face, because it's not like a matter of like keeping private life private or whatever, because I figured it would never be big enough to matter. And also it's more so there was a third point I had.
It's all good if you can't think of it. You don't have to like force out answers. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying like if you can't, it's all good.
No, I'm just saying I did have a third one. I'm trying to remember it.
I mean, I guess if it comes back to you, you can always just answer it.
Yeah.
But like, I guess in regards to that, so like, I guess a link to that. Sorry. So obviously, I used to do streams, and for a while, I had like this face cam of my Minecraft character sitting in a chair, but it just didn't add anything to the stream. And that's when I met FaZe. I know you're good friends with FaZe. And that's when he told me about the PNG tuber thing, and like kind of linking to what you said about the face cam, it kind of adds like something for the viewer to look at. Yeah, it's just a moving image every time I talk, but it still adds like something else on the screen. And that's what I like, rather than just watching gameplay. Yeah, like I guess it's always a weird take, but with the PNG tuber there, because it shows when I'm talking, if people have the stream muted, they know I'm still talking, whereas if it's just gameplay, they don't know when you're muted or unmuted. And that's why I guess adds the face cam idea, and it's always good. I would like to do face cam. I just don't really want to show my face. I stream in my pajamas with messy hair and stuff, and I feel like I'd have to kind of fix
I don't know if you've seen my streams. I stream in my pajamas with messy hair.
Yeah, but I just mean like some people they fix up before every single stream, don't they? And I don't know if I could do that. I'd rather just sit by my screen, stream for like 5 hours, and that way. Then the thing as well is with not having a face cam is I sometimes get annoyed a little bit easily. So I get annoyed. People can't see, like people might be able to tell by my voice, but they can't see how I'm acting. Like there's some funny moments where I like lay back in my chair or I go lay on my bed and cry. Like that'd be great for face cam, but it's like, you know, I just prefer not to show it personally. But I guess moving on from that, once again, I don't want to rush through topics, but it's also
I was just going to add on to that, like that exact reason. That's like another reason why I have face cam. Like for those, like I feel like there's a lot of like funny moments, also just like expressions and stuff you can convey without speaking. Like stunned silence, for example, is kind of hard to convey properly without a face cam and things like that, you know. That's another reason. It just makes the stream more expressive in a way.
It's also like if you fail a parkour jump, like that you really need a hit, like you'll just like put your head in your hands and go silent, and like it's more fun. Funny people being able to see that.
Exactly. Like I was actually thinking of that exact moment when I was sort of making that point. But yeah, things like that. It just adds. I also somewhat figured that I just wasn't as expressive enough with my voice, that I would need facecam to actually be sort of more interesting. But yeah.
With the whole, I mean, we are mainly talking about you streaming here. So it's quite good. So not really links to it, but you are going to be using your facecam during this. So you are in Minecraft Mania on the 20th, I believe, of May.
Yes.
Is that the first Minecraft tournament you've ever been in? I guess
not my first.
Oh, okay.
Not my first. Have you heard of Minecraft Showdown?
I've heard of it, but yeah, I haven't seen anything about it. That's the issue.
Okay, well, it was a funny story. So we got it was a pretty good team. It was a fun team. It was me, good friends Lockie and Oni, and also Ian. We choke on milk. I don't know if you've heard of them, but
yes, I've recorded a video.
Yeah. So we had that team. It was a really fun team. I think at this point they'd done quite a few events. Like they'd done, I don't know, like over half a dozen events, and it was still a small event. Obviously nothing was perfect, but it was like a pretty well run event. Anyway, it was funny. So the event we're playing in, the first game, something breaks and then they just skip it and they're like, okay, we'll just do it later. Then we go to the second game. Second game's good. Second game was good. It was actually, I think the second game played, which was kind of the first game. It was a new debut game for that event. And I actually did really well. It was quite fun. And then the next game circled back to the first. Then it worked fine the next time they ran it. And then the third game just like completely broke. And at that point they just called off the event.
No.
And there's still not been another one since. And that was like, it feels like about half a year ago. I don't know if it was that long, but it was at least 3 months. So that was fun. That's the entirety of my Minecraft event experience. Like,
so let's
2.5 games.
This is your first event.
Yeah.
So
this will be my first proper event. Hopefully, assuming it doesn't break midway.
So being
it won't
like
though.
in the community you're in and the friends you have, etc. Unless I'm just assuming that's wrong. And we talked about this a little bit, but I kind of want to have it on, say it on the podcast as well. So you're not in like. You haven't been in a Minecraft Mayhem. You're not in Block Wars Origins. What's like? I know you said you want to be in Block Wars Origins, but I don't know why. I just feel like you would have been. I'm quite surprised that you haven't been. Like, have you just not been invited? Is it because of time zones or what?
There's a lot of people who you feel like should be in things like that. Like off the top of my head, I could probably name
a few people,
at least like 5 people I can like think of immediately that like would be in like a similar position.
Yeah,
but well, yeah, there's one.
That's 6 now.
there's just a lot of people. Like there's a lot of people in the space. And it's actually kind of it feels like I feel like I know a lot more people than I do. Like I'm actually not that familiar with too many people. And like I don't actually like play in events and stuff. I'm sort of in that same space, but I don't actually know too many people. I kind of just not through like, I don't know, it's not like I don't want to like reach out to people and stuff. It's just kind of awkward, so I don't really try.
Well, why not? I mean, if I didn't reach out to you, you wouldn't be on this podcast.
Well, yeah, exactly. But you reached out to me, not the other way around.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying my luck. I emailed out.
Yeah, it's more just I don't know, just me as a person. I just don't. I'm very don't bother unless I think it will work. You know.
So Minecraft Mania.
That's just a problem with me as a person, though. You know.
What was the deal with Minecraft Mania then? How did you get into that? Was it because I believe I found Minecraft Mania through One?
Yeah.
So how did you go about finding it?
My friend Soul TB, he played in the last event. And then he was just like, we should sign up to me, Carla, and Lockie. And we were like, yeah, it looks good. And then we did it. It was a pretty simple process. Like he'd played in the previous one. We were like, oh, it looks good. And then he was like, we should sign up. The applications are open. And we were like, yeah, all right, sounds good. So we did. And then we got in.
Isn't it like a really bad time for you though?
Oh god, it's a horrific time. It's not the worst time. It's at 2 a.m., which is not the worst time.
That's when you
the worst. The absolute worst time is 4 a.m. That is the single worst time because 6 a.m. you can like sleep early and wake up 4.
Yeah, but 4 a.m.
Right. If it's like midnight or anything before that, it's just the time you're normally up anyways. It doesn't matter. Like 1 a.m. you're pushing your luck because it's going to end at like 3 and you're going to be real tired at the end. It's just 2 a.m. is rough. 2 a.m. will be very rough because then you're finishing at probably around 4. But yeah, no, 3 and 4 a.m. is the worst because the next day is just entirely ruined. Showdown, when I played in that was at 4 a.m. and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some sleep
as well. Yeah.
Well, I was like planning on like going to bed, getting like maybe like a 2-hour rest in, waking up like an hour, warming back up, then playing. Ended up just not getting any sleep at all. Then I just like passed out at like 9 a.m. the next morning. I was thinking I could just just pull the all-nighter, stick out 48 hours, reset sleep schedule back to normal, but it never works out when you try to do that. You always believe it will, it just never does. But yeah, it's a common running theme with all Minecraft events though. Like MCC has always been at 5 or 6 a.m. and that was the first event I watched. I feel like that was the first Minecraft event like most people watch.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's the first one I knew about.
And that's always been 5, 6 a.m. for me, which is all right. Waking up at like 6 a.m. on a Sunday, like every month, is not that big of a deal for like, the whole spectacle and everything. I mean, but especially when it's on like a Monday at like 4 a.m., something like that is just, it's just not happening.
So that linking, like that literally transitioning perfectly into this. What's it like being an Australian content creator? And I don't mean what's it like being Australian, because just upside down on that kind of jazz. But like I did wanted up being tournaments. But is there any other downsides to it? Like do you always get screwed over by time zones? Do you believe that maybe if you were living in Britain or somewhere in Europe, maybe you could average more viewers? Like, do you think there's a lot of upside? Is there a lot of upsides? Is there a lot of downsides? Like, I guess an upside with MCCI being at the own time and downside being a tournament.
Yeah, so. I really don't think it makes much difference at all, because I feel like the number of viewers and the number of streamers streaming to these viewers is pretty much always going to be proportional. Like, I feel like as far as like competition wise, like if there's less people watching Twitch, it probably just means there's also less streamers streaming on Twitch, so it kind of balances out. I don't know. I don't actually know any statistics to back that up. I don't actually care to look, but I just figure like rationally it kind of makes sense. Like it's good. It'll be roughly the same. So I've just kind of streamed it. I think I've always probably streamed at the same time, like 8-ish to whenever my time, which is like could be 7:30, could be like 10 p.m, could be 11 if I have a late day at work. But not late day, late night. But it's just always been like the sort of natural time. Like I don't want to wake up in the morning and stream, and also I'm generally busy during the day. Except I mean, like I could on the weekends. I'm just lazy. Like I kind of like to keep it sort of regular, not for any particular like stream reasons. More just I just enjoy having that like regularity. Just something to I guess look forward to every day. It's not all over the place. It's just like constant every day. Something I can just do, have fun, go to bed. It's good. But yeah, as far as being Australian, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't make that much of a difference on Twitch. I'm not sure. Apart from Minecraft events, it's not really affected me that much. It is funny though, the American demographic that I get, like, because obviously there's some Americans watch me, but that's going to be like when I start, it's like really early hours, and so it's a guessing game. Do they have a really good sleep schedule or a really, really bad one?
Yeah, no. Because you end when I start, which is about 4 p.m. my time, which is about 11 a.m. EST.
I probably start around, I can't remember. I think probably around 5 a.m. for like, I just know one American friend I have that watches occasionally, like while trying to fall asleep at like 5 a.m.
That's dedication, fair play.
Oh, well, no, they watch me to fall asleep. I just have that effect on people.
Oh, whoa, oh.
Yeah.
My bad.
But, I feel like in some sense, sort of back to that previous point of like not really knowing people, I feel like that's kind of somewhat affected, because like it's kind of makes it difficult to collaborate with people, because it's either going to like generally an okay time for me is going to be really bad for like most other places in the world. It is funny though, I feel like as an Australian, if you're an Australian in the sort of Minecraft event sort of community, like not that I play in events, but I'm sort of in that area, you just learn to accept that you don't get a say on time. you just get to lose sleep. That's it.
But now you're going to be playing in like Minecraft Mania. Do you reckon you're playing some more tournaments like Minecraft Mayhem if you ever get into that?
Absolutely.
If you invited to Block Wars Origins, I know you'd give up a limb for that.
Yeah. Like I've signed up to a couple. I don't sign up to all of them. I probably could sign up to more. I'm kind of lazy with like physically signing up. I just forget they're closing, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that like when I get home, and then forget. And also it's kind of a matter of like it's like not really knowing people in the event. Like I don't mind if I don't really know anyone, but it would, it's nice to know like a couple people, even if they're not on your team, just sort of a couple people in the event, just so you sort of have a, just some other people to like talk to about it, just to sort of like ease you into it, and then you can sort of, talk with other people and stuff and get more comfortable. But
I guess where I'm so lucky is I'm not so confident in a sense, like when it comes to real life, but like if I got put into a tournament and I didn't know anyone on the team, I'd click with them instantly, because that's just how I am. I always see myself as like an entertainer. Like, yeah, I stream for fun and I don't do it as a job, but like I'm still an entertainer. So if say for instance I didn't know you, I got put on your team, and let's say Oni and Lucky Ness, let's pretend I don't know you, I only know Oni on that team, I'd still click with you guys instantly, because I just would. It's just how I am, like the podcast. We've never talked on a call before. Yeah, you've watched my streams and I've watched your streams, but like now it's kind of like I've instantly I've just been so calm with it. You know what I mean? Like, whereas you might have been anxious. I don't know if you were or not. I'm just saying, because like you said, this your first ever podcast. I've kind of just been like, all right, it's fine. I'll just take charge. I'll be all right. And then now you seem to have really settled in.
Yeah. No, I'm very both very anxious and non-anxious about stuff, in the sense that I don't care about the final result, but also in the moment, like what's a good analogy? Like like if I have to, failing, can't think of anything.
I mean, it's all good if not.
Yeah, no, I'm just like.
I guess this might, I don't know if this will jog your memory, but I do have another question, if that's all good to ask, unless you wanna.
No, I was just going to continue on my previous point.
Oh, yeah, go on. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I feel like I'm very nervous talking to new people. Like somewhat online, but like in real life, like I really don't talk to anyone. I don't know why. I'm just kind of very. It's not like I don't like doing new things. I just kind of don't. I have nothing against it. It just kind of happens that way. I just never really have a reason to, so I don't. But yeah, very, I guess, unproactive in a way. I don't know. I find it hard to actively seek out like, new people to talk to. It's just not definitely not a strength. Like I'm fine talking to people. Especially if I know people somewhat already, then I'm fine. But it's just like new people, I'm just like, hi. Okay, I'll go now. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
So I guess we've known people and stuff like that. Before I actually ask the question, are you in the Aussie 4-stack?
Yes. There's 7 people in it.
What is?
It's literally just.
How did it come around?
It's just a friend group. We just have like a Discord group chat, and it's just a couple friends.
And there's 7
who
people
happen
in
to
it.
all be Australian.
It's
called the Aussie 4-stack, but there's 7 people in it. 4-stack is a nicer sounding number.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So with that, and this is a very controversial question, Ham, and it's spiced up the podcast a little bit. Here we go.
Oh God.
MCC Rising came about. Oh wait, what did you thought it was going to be?
Oh, okay, no, that's fine. I thought you were about to ask like, who's my favorite person? I was going to.
I mean, this is kind of like.
Go on.
MCC Rising happening in July, for instance. Yeah. HammSamichz. You got 3 people to pick out of the Aussie 4-stack be your 4-stack. There are 6 other people to choose from. Ham. Who are you picking?
Well, I mean.
Well, I have a
heart of sweat, and I want to win, so I got to include Carter and Soul.
Okay. So only got one more plan to pick then.
Oh God, this is gonna get me in trouble. It's gonna get me in trouble.
This is a highlight.
Oh God, don't. Oh, this is going on Twitter. I'm about to get. Oh no, this is gonna break some friendships. I'll carry on my previous logic of I want to win. Then I don't know. Oh, you put me in a tough spot here.
I
You put me in
want,
a
I want
real
an
tough
answer,
spot
Ham.
here.
I want an answer.
You want an answer?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God, yeah.
you, Soul, Carter. Who's the fourth?
You know, I think I'll say Oni, just because
Oni.
I feel like Lockie's already gonna get in MCC. You know, that's like his whole arc. Hang on. Sorry, let me go. Because you know, Lockie's already going to get an MCC. You know, Lockie for MCC season 3. I guess it's season 4 now. The bit's kind of changed, but and I mean Griff. I don't think Griff can play because he's a tester. Oh wait, fuck, Carter's tester too.
Oh yeah, it's just
Okay, kind of messes up my point.
No,
Kind of messes up my point.
Yeah, forget the helpers thing. Just all of them are just YouTubers, content creators, whatever. And you have to pick 4 people.
I'll say Oni, just because I'd say I got her. I've known Oni the longest. I feel like it'd just, you know.
Yeah, that's fair enough. HammSamichz exposed. I'm making like a tweet.
We've got I've got me, Soul Carter, Lockie in Mania, which will be my first event. You know, so I got to switch it up a bit. You know, so I don't have like, you know, my first and the biggest be like, you know, the same team exactly. You got to switch it up a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, that'd be so cool. I don't think they'd do it. They're not going to do another Rising, but it would be so cool if they did.
Reckon they will, you know. I think they will this year. I'm saying it now. I reckon they'll do another MCC Rising.
I really don't know about that one because
I do. I genuinely do. I feel there's no shot they don't. I would be. I'm not going to put money on it, but I'd be willing to put money on it. I reckon there is going to be another MCC Rising this year.
I'm not sure because the main sort of driver behind that was the Bush Bandit, if you know them.
No.
He was a Nox crew member, but he's not like I'm pretty sure he was sort of kind of the main advocate for the MCC Rising, and he's not with Nox crew anymore. So I feel like that decreases the chances quite a bit, and I think. I'm fairly sure they've said they're not going to do another one at some point or another. I don't think that absolutely rules it out. Like, I still see it being a possibility. I don't see it being a likelihood, you know?
I mean, in August or whenever it was, or August, October, whatever, it would have been 2 years since the last one. So I reckon I'll just do it because it's been 2 years. Oh, like, we did MCC Rising 2 years ago. Welcome back.
I mean, if they do it every 2 years, that'd be pretty cool.
It would be really cool.
Maybe like every year would be, I mean, every year might be better, but
every year takes away from it.
I'll take one more, and that's it at this point. You know,
I feel like every year kind of takes away from it a bit though, because like it's still once a year, which is still ages. But I don't know. The whole thing of MCC Rising, it gives an extra year for people to kind of get ready, or like kind of just to grow as a content creator, and then See, my issue being is I wouldn't even know who I had to play with because I applied to the last one with 3 Bedrock Edition content creators who are all quite big. But I'm only really friends with one of them now. I only really talk to one of them a lot now. I don't really talk to the other 2, so I don't even know who I had to play with. And I haven't really made any really close friends in this community, so yeah, I'm a little bit screwed right now. Maybe I can become Australian. I'll join the Aussie 4 stack. put me in over Oni. I guess one more question then about your present before we move on to the future. So this is a question that I was actually meant to ask you first, but then we kind of got sidetracked to the whole Australian thing, which is still a question, but So I'm just curious, how are you like so good at parkour? Like, do you prefer PvP or do you prefer parkour? Like, how like, because you've only been playing Java for, let's say, 2.5 years or even less. Yeah, just say 2.5 years for the sake of it. You're really good at parkour. You're really good at PvP. Which one do you prefer? Like, how are you so good at it?
The short answer is just practice it a lot and like actively try to get better when you're playing. The slightly more complicated answer is I'm not like I'm
so humble.
I'm like good. I'd consider myself good at like PvP and stuff, but if you were to compare me to someone who's like properly good, there's a very clear difference. Like I'm very good compared to the average player, but I'm not exceptional in any way. I'd say I'm definitely much better at parkour, but that's somewhat misleading. It's an easier category to get good at because not that many people actively try, and even then within it, it's kind of weird. It's a weird category. It's a weird thing to be good at in Minecraft is parkour, because there's a lot of people who sort of have like a natural ability to just like like just have movement in general is just very good. Like there are a lot of people like that, but it's also very knowledge based. Like PvP to some extent is knowledge based, but it's primarily skill. Like you put a bot with perfect aim and perfect timing, that'll beat most people without knowing anything. Just runs forward and clicks.
Yeah.
Like that'll probably beat most people. But there's a lot more knowledge. Like you can have relatively low mechanical skill with high knowledge and be able to do a lot of difficult parkour, or what would be considered difficult to people who are sort of just don't really know too much about it. But there's a lot of people who I would say have way higher natural skill than me. Like what I mainly do in parkour is just doing like really hard jumps. That's the type of parkour I like doing. Which is kind of funny. It's also the most useless type of parkour.
Yeah, they're barely ever used in like tournaments and stuff.
They're never used in a tournament or anything like that. But it's more so in the sense that none of what you're practicing is transferable. Like it doesn't improve you at anything else. Like if you're trying to specifically practice, let me, I don't know, press S, then A for 2 ticks, then S for 10 ticks, run 1 tick, jump with WD, hold jump W, strafe with A, hit an exact jump angle of 3.6, and then slowly turn in. Now that looks cool. I
understood every word of that. Yeah,
that looks cool for about 3 seconds when you see that clip on Twitter. And it takes like 5 hours to actually do. And at the end of that, you go to try to speedrun a housing parkour, and you're not any better. You know, you put a lot of time into that. You sunk a lot of time into doing that one really hard thing, and it didn't improve you at all. In any other aspect of the game other than just like, you know, practicing those niche mechanics, which is funny. Like there's a lot of other types of parkour. Like I guess more, I wouldn't say types, like parkour is parkour, but like flavors of parkour, you know, where it's all, you're doing the same thing. Maybe sometimes you're doing it fast, and sometimes, you know, you're doing it like, you know, with really, you know, maybe not so fast, but like trying to make sure you don't fail or whatever. But it's all the same stuff. Like the end goal is to just do every jump flawlessly as fast as possible. Like realistically, it's always the same goal. It's just funny that what I probably spend most of my time doing and enjoy the most is just utterly useless.
But it's fun. Like you make good content out of it on Twitch.
It is fun. No, it is fun.
Until you fail the final jump of the really hard parkour, and it sends you all the way back to the start.
Yeah. Well, that's one aspect. That is good content though when you fail. Failing is great. The grind is kind of interesting. Like I actively think about that though, because see, I can very much enjoy like grinding the exact same thing for like 5 hours. It depends on what it is specifically, you know, just doing the exact same thing over and over, keep failing, get slightly closer. Like that's enjoyable to me. It depends on what specifically it is. It's not like a blanket statement of I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
But that's not good content. Like it's kind of funny. I used to do more. I used to stream like one jump parkour more. I kind of dialed it back in though, because I was like, this is really, really boring. Which is funny. It's probably one of the only times when I've been like actively not streamed something I enjoy doing, because for the most part I don't really think about it too much. I just stream whatever I feel like, and it just works out well and people enjoy watching it. But it's like one of those things I'm like, yeah, this is really boring. And I'm like, oh god, it's been an hour and I'm still doing the exact same thing, and I haven't done anything in the last hour. It's just kind of funny. But yeah, back to parkour. It's I don't know, it's fun. I like it. It's good. But there's a lot better people than me. There are people that are significantly better. And there's what I was saying about that sort of like just inherent ability to just like sort of do well at it it's a matter of experience. Like I have not been playing the game as long as like a lot of people. And someone who's like been playing the game like competitively, I don't mean like in a esports way, but just like has been playing, get like, old school like SG and things like that, has been like competitively playing the game for a long time. Like you take someone like that that's been playing for like 10 years, you teach them how to do parkour, you get them to do it for a year, they'll probably be better than me. Like it's just a lot of people don't really get into it because it's not fun to most people, which is understandable. Like a lot of it's a slow, a lot of it's very like the improvement is very slow and you don't really notice it. But when you do, it's kind of fun to look back at, but there's you never really get a big improvement where you feel like, actually that's not necessarily true. I don't know if you've seen, you probably haven't, but there's a really funny there's some really funny clips of me doing hard jumps and just lose my shit. I think that's probably, and I think one of them got on Gamers React. Hang on, I've been on
Gamers React like 2 or 3 times now, which is quite cool.
I think hang on, wait. I'm just about to.
While you look,
we can cover this. I just genuinely just want to show you this video because it's kind of funny.
While you look for it, though, quickly, I'll ask you a question. And would you say you're a bit of a movement Andy? Then you know what that term is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So is that your specialty? Would 100%. You rather movement over PvP?
Well,
if you just send me that clip, by the way, I can just put it on the screen now while we're talking. I'll watch it afterwards. I can play it on the podcast.
Yeah. That's all good.
Hey, I'll watch it after the podcast, but I'll have it on the screen while the podcast is going, so people can watch it.
Yeah. No, like I'm definitely better at movement, like without doubt. But what do I enjoy more?
Yeah.
It just depends. Like I feel like I enjoy both equally. It just depends on the day. But I just happen to be a lot better at movement than I am at PvP.
That's fair enough. I mean, as long as you enjoy it. That's the thing, like I've said it before, like I used to care so much about what I streamed. Like I got raided on Saturday by my mate Potato Pie and Lawless Alex. And one time a day with those like 240 viewer raids, I would have stayed playing servers just to keep the viewers. But I still went and played my UFC tournament and all my viewers dropped. But it's because I like, it's what I wanted to do, and I've realized I was treating it too much like a job, and it is just a hobby. Like I should just do what I want and then hope like that the success comes with it. So which it will one day, I'm sure. But I guess then transitioning into your future. This won't be that long of a section, and then we'll get into the Twitter questions. But it's just a little bit of a. I'm just gonna ask you a question. You can talk away like you have been, and that'll basically be the entire section here. So, what can we expect for the future of HammSamichz? You got any big plans? Have you seen good growth? I mean, you said you have. Do you expect better growth?
I don't think
maybe uploading on YouTube soon.
I don't think I've really ever thought about my future.
In the moment, then I do not want to.
I still don't really think I will. Like I've had a couple of things I've wanted to do. Like I've wanted to start like actually uploading to YouTube. Probably for like 6 months now. I was like, yeah, I should really start doing that. Yeah, I should really start doing that. 3 months passed. I should really start doing that at some point.
Yeah.
That's the same I've gone with like a lot of things. Like I was like, yeah, I should actually get some like emotes made. 6 months passes. Yeah, I should probably actually get some, yeah. I feel like that's basically everything with me. Like there are some things I would want to do. I have no big plans though. There's just like a couple small things I kind of want to do. But in terms of big plans, like I've never really had big plans because I don't know. I mean, primarily I still do this only for fun. Like the second I stopped enjoying this, I would just stop. Like I'm not going to. I love streaming. But like were I to stop enjoying it, I would just stop. So I don't know. I just kind of go live, hang around with chat for a couple of hours, and yeah, I still do the exact same thing I've been doing since like for a year. There's not really any difference, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I just don't particularly have any plans because I mean part of that's somewhat not having confidence in myself to sort of follow through on them. Because in some sense, if I made a big plan, I'd be like, I know I'm not gonna like get around to doing this anyway. What's the point? I don't know. I just kind of enjoy where I'm at. And like I always have. I've always sort of just enjoyed just doing what I do. And thought, yeah, it's a good idea to do some other stuff, but just never really had enough particular just drive to actually follow through on any of those plans. So
What about YouTube?
Kinda-
You ever gonna start doing YouTube content or not?
well, like I had thoughts about it, but it's kind of a hassle. Like I would never edit my own videos. Like if I was to do YouTube, it would be hiring an editor to just like make stream highlights or whatever. But I just never really thought it was. Well, somewhat didn't think it was worth, and also never even really. I mean, it's again the same thing. I just never got around to it. I have a YouTube channel. There's like a couple of there's a couple of shorts posted there, but haven't. I mean, I didn't even upload any of those videos. But yeah, I don't know. Also, the other thing is, I feel like streaming and YouTube are a very different difficulty. Like, I haven't really done YouTube, so I can't like speak from personal experience too much on that side. But I feel like YouTube, you have to make really, really good content like in a short time, as opposed to Twitch, where it's like your content, like there's a much lower bar for how engaging the content has to be, but you also have to keep it up for a lot longer, which I'm fine with. I mean, I like to think I'm somewhat engaging, but I don't like. I feel like I'm not creative enough to regularly come up with like videos that will keep an audience on YouTube. I just don't think I would have enough different ideas to actually, you know, keep people coming back for more videos. So I'm not sure.
Well, the thing with like YouTube is I kind of just upload content that I enjoy, but if you really, really want to do well, you have to make content that markets to your audience, and it has to be high edited and stuff like that. And to be honest, I've realized that I just haven't got the drive for that. I used to when it was a bit easier, but now it's just become like you basically have to make fucking TV shows for it to be good. And like and because of that, I've just because the thing is that people always say, oh yeah, streaming is so much easier than doing YouTube. The thing is, streaming is just as time consuming, because the thing is with like the podcast now, for instance, that at any point when you've gone silent, or at any point someone's come into our room or whatever, on any podcast ever, not just this one, I can be like, all right, it's fine, mute up, cut this out, whatever. If I was recording this podcast live, or even just streaming, you stream for 4 hours, I stream for 4 hours, that means combined, let's just say, I mean, okay, actually just better, on Saturday I streamed for 9 hours straight. That means I had to stay entertaining for that entire 9 hours, and during that 9 hours I couldn't slip up and make a mistake. Because okay, for instance, every now and then I swear in a podcast, I keep it in now because I don't really care. One time a day, if I turn around and I said fuck in a podcast, I can edit it out. But if on stream, I obviously there's a lot worse examples which I'm not going to say because I don't even want to think of worse examples. But if I say fuck on stream, that's there. I can't change that. I can't. My viewers have heard me say that. I can't cut that out.
Are you a PG streamer?
No, I stream. I swear. But I don't swear.
I wasn't sure, but
I was using it as an example. If I was a PG streamer and I swore, that's my example, because I don't want to think of worse examples. So that's basically what I'm getting at there. But that's what I'm saying. Like with streaming, it is equally as hard. It's not really more time consuming. Cause it's a lot. Like I've edited videos for 6 or 7 hours for them to be a 4-minute long video. And but streaming wise, I feel like it's a whole different ball game because you have to stay entertaining for 4 hours. But I enjoy streaming. I enjoy streaming more. It's nice just to talk, and that's why I bought the podcast back. Cause I just love talking. I love talking to people and all that kind of jazz. Yeah. And like, you know, I mean, you love streaming, and you have been like great on this podcast as well. By the way, you have done an amazing job, so thank you. But yes, I guess no YouTube channel, but you are just going to keep streaming, and if you see success, it comes to you. Yeah,
pretty much. Like, I feel like I don't actively. It's kind of weird. I've never really actively like sought out like improvement. Like, I've done like a couple things that I think, you know, if I'm doing something like that's kind of bad, like I'll kind of maybe not do so much of that. But for the most part, I don't really do anything with the intention of growing as a streamer or as a content creator or anything. It just kind of keep doing what I enjoy, and it just kind of happens, which is, I mean, I'm grateful for that. I can just kind of wing it, and it sort of works out well. But yeah,
fair enough. So I guess moving on to the Twitter questions now.
All
so
right.
I have 2 Twitter questions. You had a few silly ones like what's your favorite keyboard key from Mighty Brothers. I guess just give me a short answer here, because this is one of the Twitter questions, but I'm curious, I guess.
Favorite keyboard key.
I don't want to know why. Just give me it.
Gotta go with W, because you need it to move forward in games, and also it's a W key.
Fair enough. That's good play on words. Right. So 2 questions. I'm going to say who asked them, and then the Twitter question itself, and then you can answer away as you will. So the first one is from Mr. Kavaman. I hope I've said that right. I've interacted with them in Minecraft Mania. Sorry if I said your name wrong, if you're even watching. If you are watching, God, that sounds so horrible. Thoughts on ping in PvP? What are the pros and cons of being high ping?
Oh, pros and cons of being high ping. Pros, I stand a reasonable chance against people who are much better than me in like a plain sword fight. Cons, pretty much everything else.
Lag.
Like, okay, a lot of the cons in PvP are not in the PvP itself. In terms of the PvP itself, I really feel it's not that much of an advantage or disadvantage. Because on the one hand, like it is true you take less knockback and things like that. But you can also get weird hits and whatever. Like I feel like it balances out. You can't really get the first hit if you're both low. Like, but I feel like most of the time that can balance out. I feel like most of the disadvantage is not in the PvP itself. It's in the random server lag back and your block's not placing and stuff like that. But there's not really the actual raw PvP itself, but it's sort of other aspects of the game just not working properly as intended like they should. That sort of cause a lot of the. I mean, that's what causes most of my complaints about PvP. Like, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. I feel like it makes it more random in a way. I feel like having high ping, I feel like I'll lose some fights that I should win, but like I'll win some fights that I definitely should lose. I've fought people that are I would say are objectively better than me. And like still won because, well, partially them not knowing how to fight against high ping, but also high ping just sort of, it somewhat levels the playing field and just makes it sort of just brings down the experience for both people equally almost. Like it's not fun fighting high ping people. Like there's one like Australian server and I don't fight high ping people on there because it's not fun. Same as I'm sure it's not fun. So I'd never go on like, what's a PvP server like Stray or something like that, because again, I respect that. Like it's not an enjoyable experience. No one likes high ping PvP. It's just you don't really have a choice. Like I don't get to choose what my ping is. Like kind of limited by the country I live in. So I feel like in straight PvP, it's really neither an advantage nor disadvantage. It just makes it less fun for everyone. But in terms of like games that aren't just straight PvP, it's the other things that get sort of ruined. Well, not ruined, but like it's just not as fun because of ping.
Well, this was after I knew you, so it wasn't like a case of I chatted shit about you. I didn't actually chat shit. I'm making it out to be worse than it is. It's not a case of I chatted shit. Thing. We were in a fight on MCC Island one time, Ham. And you were on the edge. Yeah. I hit you off the edge, and then suddenly you float back on without a levitation because of your high ping. On my screen, I hit you off, and I kid you not, you fall off, and then you suddenly bounce all the way up and float over me. And I was like to my stream, what is this? What has just happened? What is it? You're great at PvP.
It can happen.
But what can happen. What was that?
I mean, I don't know the specific situation, but I'm assuming it just got lagged back or whatever, which happens.
Probably, yeah.
And what happens, like, again, sort of with that neither advantage nor disadvantage, that can happen and then I win. Or what's probably more common, but for the sake of the argument, I'll say they're equally likely. I'm running away from someone and I place blocks and then I get lagged back on my own block and then I just die. Like that happens equally likely. I'd say more, but it may be biased. I think it's true though. But yeah, like it's like that. It's just kind of, it just makes I think that's a good way of putting it. It just makes the experience worse for everyone. But again,
nothing we can do.
You don't get a choice. So what are you going to do about it? Yeah.
And like, that's why I wasn't like when I said about chatting shit. Like I said on stream, I was my words on stream are pretty much like, "Oh come on, Ham, I know you're good at PvP, but what was that?" Like I went to chat shit. It made it sound like worse than it was. But yeah, it's something you could do. So I didn't get like angry. I was just like, "Come on, like I would have killed HammSamichz if they were European." So you know, but even then, maybe we weren't in that situation. That's fair enough. So the second to it, unless you have any more to say about that, or
No, I think that pretty much sums up how I sort of think about it. And again, that's the key word, how I think about it, not how I feel about it. How I feel about it is ping is awful, and everyone who's low ping and complains about it should just shut up and just accept it and get over themselves and stop complaining. It's worse for us. But how I think about it, like it's kind of level, but it's just kind of annoying for everyone.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So the second one is from Taran. Once again, hope I pronounced that right. And it's what's your favorite moment in your streaming career?
Ooh,
It's a good one. This.
It's
It's a good question.
There's been a couple really good ones. Specifically in my sort of streaming career. I feel like I'm gonna list a couple because I'm not gonna like be able to think of everything off the top of my head.
That's fine.
But the first night of NCC Island was fucking wild. It was such a cool experience. Like on that very first night when almost all of like the big creators were on, and you would have like 2 MCC participants in like every game. And I think I was streaming with, I don't know if it was the first night or the second night. I'm kind of gonna bundle it all into one anyway. I was playing with Lockie, who I'd watched at that point, and I think I might have like talked to once, like not really. And then some other of his friends that I also like barely knew. I was like just like with like talking with like new people, and like the actual games itself was like it was just a wild experience. And then what else would there be? Oh god, I'm hearing my own echo. Oh no.
Sorry, no, that's fine. No, that's just my headphones. I won't be heard in the podcast. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. All good.
And if that's the only one you can think of, that works.
No, I don't want that to be the only one. I want like at least one other. Because it was so long ago though. It was like sort of before I had like, I don't know. I feel like I should be able to think of one, but I don't know. I might not be able to. Yeah, I might just leave it at that one. I don't think I can think of another for that.
That's fair enough.
Like I'm sure that's probably not actually my favorite moment. I just can't think of any more off the top of my head.
Fair enough. That's all right though. Sorry if it seemed like I've rushed you at any point in this podcast. By the way, no,
that's all good.
I like I said, I'd happily record this podcast for 2-3 hours because you're great to talk to. It's just I'm a bit time conscious for you specifically because you said you don't want to be here too long. Which like I understand that like we like or like you can happily talk up to whenever. But my point is I just want to get like all the questions in because that's what the podcast is about. So
I feel like I kind of answered everything I wanted to.
It was great, and I got every question and I wanted to. It's just once again, I'm sorry if it seemed like and to the viewers as well. Sorry, but we did discuss before the podcast that there was like a certain time where you needed to go and do stuff. That's why I was a bit time conscious, and I didn't want it to seem like I was rushing you at any point as well. So, but yeah. That's about it for today's podcast, Ham. I guess I guess before we end, for anyone who's still watching, please promote yourself. Where can we find you? Twitter, Twitch. What's your socials?
I mean, I'd say my main sort of platform would just be my Twitch. HammSamichz. I'm assuming my name will be in the title. You can just copy that, paste it in Twitch. I guess same on Twitter, YouTube if you want absolutely no content. But yeah, that's about it.
Fair enough. Well, so HammSamichz, however you pronounce it, it'll be linked below anyways, your Twitch, of course, so they'll be able to find you there. And I will at you on YouTube, so if anyone wants to see your amazing shorts, they'll find you there as well. And then the Twitter and stuff, you guys can go and find yourself, okay? You guys can go and find out yourself. But thank you, Ham, for being an amazing guest today. Once again, sorry if it seemed like rushing us on and out. It's still 11:30 a.m, which would be about the time I'd be waking up. So, I had a great podcast, and I hope you enjoyed it too.
That is all good. You were very, what's the word? Like welcoming. That wasn't the word I was thinking of.
Amazing. You can just call me amazing. It's fine. Handsome. Yeah, amazing.
I'll just call you amazing. You're an amazing host. Yes, of course.
All right. Well, this has been the Inside Minecraft podcast. Everything I guess you need to know about HammSamichz. Hopefully in the future, so you get a big raid and you join the Dream SMP. Maybe I'll get you back on and we can talk about that. So, thank you all for watching. Have a nice day. Hopefully we'll be back next week. The next podcast I will be recording will be with a Bedrock Edition content. That'll always be fun. Have a nice one, lads. Have a good day with whatever you're doing. Thank you again, Ham. And when this podcast is coming out, Ham will probably be live on Twitch. Go check him out. If you're done with the hour, they should still be live. Exactly. All right. Peace.
Goodbye.